Here in the kitchen now with Chef Ken Hall. Great to see you, Ken.
Great to see you.
Now, Ken is a personal chef. He's cooked at some of the area's best restaurants and country clubs and things like that, but is changing gears a little bit and is, you know, the personal chef thing is really taking off. People love to entertain at home and they don't want to do all the work, or you do cooking classes, all sorts of things.
Right. Well, a lot of it is people are so busy nowadays and they want to eat healthy.
Right.
They want to stay away from as much processed as they can nowadays. So that's where I'm getting more and more calls, is just on the healthier aspect of food. You know, we're getting the new regulations coming down from the government saying eat the rainbow, and people go, well, what does that mean?
And a lot of people don't cook at all, and they're turning to
Right.
fast food and going out to eat every night. And so you'll go into their homes, you'll do the grocery shopping, you'll clean up, you'll even leave it in the refrigerator. So you know, you'll either cook it warm for them,
Right.
or you'll be out of there so they can just come home from work and
Right,
heat it
and
up.
I package it and throw it in their fridge or their freezer with reheating instructions. So all they have to do is come home in the morning, they take it out of the freezer, put it in the fridge, and let it thaw while they're at work. They come home, they throw it in the oven, and they have beautiful, fresh, healthy food.
And it's a lot more affordable than you think, for sure. So this morning, though, we're talking breakfast. So maybe you want to do a breakfast party and have Ken come cook with you, or maybe you're looking for something different. What are we making?
We are going to do pecan pancakes. And we've actually made these a little healthier than your normal. We're going to use a little honey yogurt in there, so you're going to get a little flavor from that. We're also using half whole wheat flour, half regular flour, and then throwing some wheat germ in.
Really?
These are pancakes that I actually get my kids to eat.
And they don't even know that there's that other stuff in there.
And they don't even know that they're in there.
Love
so
it.
they're getting some added benefits in there, which is fantastic. Pretty much what we've got here is, first we're going to work on our berries.
Okay.
And we're going to take our berries, and what I've got in here is I've got 2 cups of mixed berries. So we've got some blackberries, some blueberries, some strawberries.
Okay.
We're going to take a little bit of lemon, and I like just a little bit of lemon juice over the top. Now if you want...
Now why do that?
One, this will help bring the flavors together.
Okay.
The acid from the lemon juice also helps to bring some of the juice out of the berries themselves.
Really? Okay.
And then I'm going to put just a little bit of honey, maybe about...
Instead of sugar, you know.
Instead of sugar.
So it's going to kind of sweeten them up a little bit.
Right. And then what
I
we're
can
going
toss
to
them
do,
together, yep.
we'll go ahead and we'll toss those together.
You bet. These are absolutely gorgeous, but we don't want to really break them up, right? We just want to
Right,
keep
we
them.
just, yeah, well, if you wanted to, you could take and cook them down.
Okay.
If you like more of like a hot syrupy type of thing, you could actually cook them down, just throw them right in a pan and let them simmer down, and then you have nice, fresh, warm strawberries or berries over the top.
I love them when they're fresh like that. When they're this beautiful, I think it's a shame not to just eat them as is.
I agree.
You know? So these
I
are
agree.
absolutely
But now,
gorgeous.
if they're not in season or if they're too expensive, you can go and you can get a bag of mixed frozen berries.
And then cook those a little bit,
And then just cook those down and add your lemon zest, a little honey in there, and maybe a tablespoon of water.
Okay.
And throw them in a pan and just let them slowly cook down on the stove.
15, 20 minutes or something?
Yeah, probably 15, 20 minutes. And that just brings out all the natural sugars and it kind of blends them together, and it kind of makes that nice dark purple color to the sauce, which is really cool on top of these pancakes.
Ooh, yum. Chopping up some pecans.
What I've got is I've got half a cup of pecans here that I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna go too fine on them because I like a little chunk, kind of like a chocolate chip would be. We'll go ahead and we'll put...
And those are gonna go in the batter, I take it?
This goes right into the batter.
Ooh, yum.
So we've got this. In here we've got a half a cup of whole wheat flour, half a cup of regular flour, and then I throw in a 1/4 cup of wheat germ.
Okay.
Now if you wanted ground flax, you could use ground flax. Nice way to get your omegas in there as well. Adds a lot of flavor.
But I like that you're using the white and the whole wheat, so we're not, you're kind of, you know, tricking them by not using all whole wheat. You know, it's got a little balance.
And sometimes it, if you use straight whole wheat, they're too dry.
Okay.
So you want to mix in a little bit of the all-purpose, and you kind of play with that recipe a little bit. Sometimes it's 2/3, 1/3 type of thing.
Okay.
That's why I add the wheat germ in there, so I'm getting more, so I can have a little bit more all-purpose for the consistency.
Okay, got it.
We need to melt this in the microwave.
Okay, I can do that.
Pop that in the microwave, and we'll melt that. Then we're going to add 1 egg, just 1 fresh egg in here.
So our nuts, our mix of flours, 1 egg.
Right, and then we're going to go 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And this is one of those that you do not have to, because you're using the leavening, you don't have to fluff your eggs. Typically you would take your egg yolk and put in there, and then you would add your egg white to a pan and fluff it. But since we're using a little bit of the baking powder and the baking soda, we don't have to do that. And I'm just going to kind of break up the egg. And then to this we're using 1 cup of yogurt. So we're going to put our yogurt in instead of our milk. So we have our 1 cup of yogurt.
Our butter is taking our good old time to melt here. We're getting there.
We're getting there. But the yogurt will, you've got the acid reacting with your baking powder. So that's going to be your leavening. And these are good hearty pancakes.
Wow. Sometimes my microwave just doesn't cooperate with me. You know, well, when you keep checking it, sometimes it's like one of those things, a watch pot never boils. So,
Exactly.
but butter, I always want to be careful because you don't want the microwave wearing the butter. You know what I'm talking about?
Right, and then I'm going to put just a little pinch of salt in here just to kind of help blend.
All right, we got melted butter, just about
All right.
anyway. Okay, so right in there?
Right in there. And then we're going to just stir that together.
Now I see we got the old griddle out, and I tell you, when it comes to making pancakes or French toast, and you've got an assembly line going, because in the summer at the cottage, I am the pancake queen. I'm just flipping, flipping, flipping. A griddle rocks rather than a frying pan. Invest in a griddle.
Absolutely.
I have
like
one that
the
goes-
griddle as well. I use this for cooking fish at the house as well.
Really?
Because it's...
Any butter or anything down on the bottom?
Nope, you don't need it.
Oh, I love it, because this is a non-stick surface. Okay.
Yep, this is a non-stick surface, so we're just going to do smaller pancakes. They won't take quite as long to cook. And just, it's a thicker batter, but that's good, you know.
Okay.
Then you don't have to eat 10 of them. You eat your 2 or 3, and you get your
You're
fresh
good to go.
berries on there, and you're good to go.
A question about this batter. Can you make any of it ahead of time and leave it in the refrigerator? So let's say you want to get this done. Is there a way to do this the night before or earlier in the morning?
Absolutely. What you don't want to do is you don't want to add the yogurt to it until you're ready to cook it up.
Okay.
So everything can be mixed together. You can have the egg in there, you can have your butter, you can have all of that ready to go, but you do not want to add in the yogurt because that creates the action with the baking powder to start it rising.
Okay, got it, got it.
If you have leftover, it's good for a day or two.
Okay.
I wouldn't leave it much past that.
Okay.
But a day or two is fine.
Okay, good to know. I think we're going to take a break and let these pancakes do their thing and check back on them. Or are we waiting for them to bubble like regular pancakes would?
Actually, all we're looking for them is to brown.
Okay.
So once they brown,
How are
we
we
can
doing?
flip them.
We've got a little ways?
Yep,
Yeah, a little ways.
got a minute or so. We'll turn
Okay.
this up a little bit.
Okay, and then we're going to top these obviously with the
We're going to
berries.
top those with the berries, and then a fresh, you know, this is maple country up here, and it's fresh
Yeah.
maple syrup. You can't go wrong with a little sugar bush drizzle over the top as well.
Yeah,
So
I'm
they'll
with you.
be lovely.
Now, how can people get a hold of you if they're watching you on the show today and they're like, you know what, I really would like him to make a romantic dinner for my wife and I, or make some dinners for our family so we don't have to eat out, or maybe cater a party?
The easiest way to get a hold of me is to email me, and that's chefken@new.rr.com.
Or I Googled Chef Ken Hall the other day and it just
Right.
came right up. So
Right, and then the link to my webpage is chefkenhall.webs, which is webs.com.
Okay.
And that has a lot more information on there as well.
Okay.
But typically, I check my email constantly throughout the day.
Okay.
And I do a lot of auctions and charity events as well to kind of help raise some money for people.
Sure.
Which is a lot of fun for me. I like to be out in front of people. I like to cook in front of people. And it's amazing what you can do with a griddle. And
Wow. Oh, wait, hey, these are just about to the finish line, so we'll go ahead and wait and plate them up. And as I said, I get questions all the time. Who do you know who teaches cooking classes? Chef Ken does. He'll come to your home. You can get a group of girlfriends together or a group of husbands and wives, and he'll get you cooking. All right, let's go ahead and plate these because they're ready. And they're gorgeous. You know, they always say the first pancake doesn't work. Well, these did.
Yep, these always work nice. That's what I like about this particular batter itself, is it's just a quick and easy batter.
Here's our fresh berries. And I always look at the grocery store to see, you know, should we go fresh or frozen? Or, you know, if you're really thinking blueberries, but the blueberries don't look so great, go for blackberries, strawberries, make some subs. And sometimes the fresh fruits are really expensive. So, but this is, wow, a little bit of the syrup.
Yep, just a little bit. We don't want a whole great deal on there.
Yum. Keeping it healthy, but a little bit of sweetness.